Well, hey, how you doing today? I was just talking to a friend of mine, old friend, that I've had for many years, but we hadn't been in touch with one another for, oh my goodness, I can't remember how long, maybe more than 20 years. And we got back in touch because she had contacted me about coaching her in my healthy lifestyle plan. And she said something that I thought was really interesting. She said, "You caught me in just the nick of time with my fat potential." And we were both laughing, but I thought, have you ever thought about what is your potential for putting on weight? Those of us with weight problems, and usually they're overweight problems, not underweight for most people, we very often have a potential of putting on more weight. Have you ever noticed that from year to year, if you're a little overweight, most people don't tend to lose weight from year to year. They tend to put on weight, right? Oh my goodness. Well, how do we deal with that? Why does that happen? Okay, this is exactly the reason why I coach people in this particular healthy lifestyle program to deal with the problem of why we keep putting on weight. That what I guess I'd like to call from now on that fat potential. Okay? We have habits that we've developed over our lives. And many times, especially in our society with the kinds of foods that are marketed so aggressively for us to eat and buy, and restaurant foods too, that are so packed full of calories and sodium and very often, preservatives and all kinds of stuff. With those kinds of foods, we tend to put on weight. We tend to look to food for comfort, for something to do. If we're feeling down, if we're feeling up, what do we do to celebrate things so often? Have a meal together, or, the kids won their game, let's take them out for ice cream or pizza or whatever. And, again, there's no problem with eating, but there is a problem with eating foods that are so packed with calories that it ends up causing us to put on weight. And then, these habits of maybe eating, I'm feeling so down, I'm going to eat a pint of ice cream. Well, you can get a pint of ice cream that has anywhere from maybe 200 something calories to 2,000 something calories. I mean, oh my gosh, because these days there are foods that are being made. How are they making them differently? They're packing in more fat, more carbs, things like that. So, if you're turning to food as a comfort, as something to do, as a way to celebrate, just, to relieve boredom. Or like me, I used to ride around town and I would be reading the marquees on all the fast food places and all the restaurants and everything, because it was fun and exciting to try the new restaurant, to try the new food or the new sauce or the new way of preparing something. Eating was fun, except eating was making me blow up like the Goodyear blimp. And you look at some of my past pictures and you'll see I'm not exaggerating very much. But look, the program that I coach people in, and that I've been coaching my friend in, who in the last 2 weeks has lost almost 10 pounds, and she's like 73 years old. So ladies, it is not harder to lose weight when you're older. Not if you do it the right way. And she feels so good. And this is a healthy way of taking off weight. But the important thing is not so much what you're eating, but the habits, changing the habits that have caused you to put on weight in the past. And like I said, the fat potential that I'm, kind of humorously calling it, that maybe you're just putting on a few pounds a year, or some people put on 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds over a year, and they kind of keep going in that direction. I help you learn how to take those habits that are causing you to put on weight and replace them with healthy habits. So listen, in the comments, I'm going to put a couple of pictures of what I used to look like, okay? So you can see that, Goodyear blimp, or the way I used to think of it was refrigerator box. If somebody asked what my figure was like, I would say kind of like a refrigerator box. And I'm going to put a picture of me. I'm going to see if I can find it in a sort of aqua turquoise colored dress. And you're going to go, yep, refrigerator box. Okay, or possibly turn it sideways, Goodyear blimp. Okay, I was big. Why was I big? Because I had habits that my mind always turned to food. And you may feel like, the saying, sometimes you'll see someone who's heavy and someone will say, I can't understand it. She eats like a bird. Let me tell you what, you know what a bird does? A bird spends its waking hours looking for food and eating. This is true. This is a scientific fact. Birds are eating all the time, okay? And somebody who eats like a bird is eating all the time. It may be little bits. You may only see them with a little bit on their plate, but then shortly thereafter, there's a little bit more on their plate, okay? So it's not necessarily someone who eats large amounts, has a heaped up plate at the buffet, but somebody who's just nibbling all day too. And I know that some of you that are listening know this. Well, anyway, I can help you just as I've learned myself, and my friend who I was talking about has learned and is learning to work on those habits, change the lifestyle you're living so that it's healthy. And you know what? All that time I used to spend thinking about, where I could eat, what new thing I could eat, who I could eat with, all that sort of thing. My gosh, when I stopped doing that, I suddenly had like all this brain space available to do and think about other things. And it made me much happier. When I was eating a lot, I was happy in the moment. But then I wasn't so happy afterwards, when my waistband was getting tight, So anyway, if you know somebody who would like to take off some weight in a healthy way and change their lifestyle so that they will not just turn right around and put it back on, which is what happens with most diets. You end up putting it back on and then some. If you'd like to change that, get in touch with me, okay? Because truly, this has made for me and has made for my clients that I help with this a truly happy life. When you're healthy, you can't help but be happy too. Okay. Talk to you later.